Hi everybody, welcome back to Friday Sews. I'm Alison if we've not met before, and if you're a regular, hello again. So, this week, two dresses I had planned to make. One is done, love it, I will come to that later. The second one, no. So, what happened? You might remember that I was talking about making the Carleen dress from Fibre Mood, which is this one just here. I've actually popped it on and done a little video, so I'm gonna let you watch me there. It doesn't show you the whole dress, but it talks through what I don't like about it. I didn't get it finished. I tried it on when I came home from Stitch In Tyne social the other day, and I was a bit not sure, and I think that's why I've not been rushing back to make it for the rest of the week. But I kind of got a bit more on with it today, put it on. No. So I will drop that in now and then I'll come back to you in a second. So I thought I'd jump on and explain, while you can see it, what I'm not liking about this so far. It feels a little tight across my back, and yet there's absolutely loads of fabric here, and it's fine here. It maybe is slightly tight on the top of my arms. But the thing that I think I'm just not getting away with is this. I know it's hard to see on a busy fabric, so it's got this sort of double yoke neck here, which ends sort of right on the top of my shoulders here. I mean, I feel like it's lying where it's meant to be. I've gone back and looked at the line drawings, and the same on, I don't know if you can sort of see on the back there, but it doesn't feel right. So if I like just moving it, I don't know if you can see I'm getting like that's my shoulder, but that's moved to there, and it's not dropping back to there easily. Don't know if that would be different if it had the belt on, but you can wear it with or without the belt. I am a little bit round shouldered, so that could be something to do with it, but I mean, obviously I am that, so sorry, I know you can't see my face. I'm just not happy with the fit of it round here. All I've got left to do is gather the sleeves into the cuffs and put the bottom tier on and make the belt, but I'm kind of tempted to stop there, because you know when you just know that you're not going to reach for something. I know that I'm not going to reach for this, and I think there's enough fabric that I could probably, I don't know, maybe create something else out of it, and I want a bit of thinking time to think about that. So make number one this week isn't a completed make. I don't have a work in progress pile, so it won't linger for long, but I'll just be making a decision, which is why I wanted some of this £4.95 fabric, so I wasn't spending expensive fabric. I also feel like compared to the Judy dress that I'm recording in today, it's sort of sitting a little bit high on me here, and I feel like that'll just get on my nerves. I don't like anything kind of high up on my neck. I'm quite large busted, and I feel like it's just not doing anything for me. So that's a for that one, but never mind, I'll be back with another make. So I am a bit gutted, I'll be honest. It reminds me a lot of the Davenport dress from Friday Pattern Company. It is different at the top, but I think out of the two, clearly I would go back to the Davenport dress again, because I do really like that. I am a bit gutted. I've been kind of zooming in on the line drawings of it finished and things, and I do feel like it is sort of, I don't know if you can see there, it is finishing on the top of the shoulders, and I have gone over kind of where the notches were, where I kind of put it onto the sleeve, and everything was in the right position. It's not a super thick fabric, it's a viscose, possibly more like a viscose chalice, but not super thick. But it's just not sitting right on my shoulders. I don't think it's a matter of reducing the yoke, because that would bring it further up, and then the sleeve wouldn't be right on it. So yeah, it's a no. It's a no from me. as Simon Cowell might say on the X Factor. So slightly good, but that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes, isn't it? And sometimes you've got to kind of, you know, you reach a point. I reached a point with it where I knew if I kept going, I was probably going to spend time doing things that I wasn't going to be happy with anyway. However, it is now cut out. I'll drop a picture in. And I've managed to convert it to my second fleur dress by Fabric Godmother. Now, you may remember I made that and shared that last week. I'll drop a little picture in of that. The dress that I used, sorry, the fabric that I used last week, I think it's a cotton poplin, but it's quite a thin cotton poplin. And I really wanted to make it in a viscose, so I'm absolutely fine that it's going to be in this fabric. It is short sleeve, but I'm not bothered about that for the winter. That's fine. I could just put a black, like long sleeve tee underneath it or something like that. So how have I mastered it? So that, again, just as I did with the first one, the skirt part isn't as wide as the pattern piece for the fleur dress. In fact, it's probably slightly less than it was last time, but there is still some to gather in. And obviously it was the skirt part of this dress, so I know that it's ample wide enough. I've tried that on, I know that. Out of the sleeves of the Carleen dress, I just literally cut up the seams of everything. I've managed to get the 2 front panels, and then I had a piece of the fabric left, and I've managed to get the back piece, which is cut on the fold, and the 2 sleeves out of that piece that was left. So the skirt part I had a ruffle for anyway, that was already cut and gathered on my overlocker, so I've kind of used that and the pattern piece to make the skirt. I hope that sounds right. So I've managed to get it all out. It's a bit of skullduggery going on in places. What I've done, I did mention last time that this one has the 3 ties up, and I did fancy, I'm going to try it with like a placket on both sides rather than just the placket underneath, and making like 2 buttons and a tie at the top. So I'll show you the line drawings of it there. You can just see it's got the 3 ties. So what I've done with it is you've got one placket rectangle that you usually sew onto the right hand side, and you would interface both sides of that. And then the other pattern side, I can't remember which is left or right, you just fold over and attach the tie. So what I'm going to do instead of folding it over is the point where it would be folded over, I'm going to attach a second placket to that, but I didn't want it to be too thick with the interfacing, so rather than interface the whole piece, I've halved the interfacing and put one part on one piece and one part on the other, so it shouldn't end up any thicker because of the interfacing, but it will because of a little bit more fabric. Hope that makes sense. I think what I'm going to try to do is, I've only needed to undo the top tie on that dress anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is what I've done with the indigo dress before, which is actually stitch up the placket and put 2 like buttons on so they look like 4 buttons. It's a very busy fabric, you won't see that there's not buttonholes on it anyway, and then just attach the tie at the top, so it'll sort of end up with like that was very dramatic, wasn't it? Like a flap that'll open with the tie on just to fasten. I did feel that the neck on the fleur was slightly too high for me, so I've cut it a size smaller because I felt like I needed to go down a size. So this is a good chance to try that out anyway. And because obviously I've took a small amount out of the neck at the back and around the front, I thought let's try that and see if that lowers it just enough. I don't know if it's because that fabric I used last time was a stiffer fabric. With a softer fabric it might feel better anyway. So everything's cut out, it's interfaced where needed, but for now I've just stopped because I wanted to record, and I know I'm not going to get a good crack at that today, and I'd rather come back to it fresh on another day. So I'll catch up with that one next week, but it's all cut out ready, so hey ho. Don't know, well, I might get some sewn tomorrow. Saturday I'm working, and Sunday we're at Vicky McClure's dance day, I keep calling it Day Nation, it's not called that, Day Disco or something like that. I'll pop a photo in. So this is the 3 till 8 p.m. over 30s disco, which I just think is such a great idea. Our friend Sybil and Jed are coming up and we're going for some food and then we're going there. And the idea is that you can jump on a bus from the city centre, you know, it's all over the country in the UK, and you're tucked up in bed, nice and early, no sort of rolling in at 3 o'clock or anything like you might have done when you were younger. So I'm really looking forward to that on Saturday. It looks packed every time I've seen them, really good atmosphere. So if you're not in the UK, Vicky McClure is an actress in the UK. She's quite famous, and her and her brother have started this sort of thing off. So I'm really looking forward to that. You'd think I was making her, I'm not, but you know. So the second dress that I made, but I actually made first, and some of you have seen it because I wore it to a Stitch In Tyne last Sunday. In fact, I wore it when I went out to meet my friend in Durham a couple of days ago. It is another Judy dress. This is a Judy dress, but this is a dress that I wasn't wearing, that I converted into a Judy dress. There's a theme, isn't there? It's the third dress that I've sort of upcycled or done something with recently. I'm just going to grab it, won't be a sec. So this fabric has been in my stash for a couple of years. I mentioned it in my August sewing plans, and it is this viscose satin, which is just beautiful. It's fresh out the wash, so it hasn't been ironed. But I'm absolutely over the moon with how this looks when I'm wearing it. I have got some pictures and I've got some video footage. I've made about 6 of this dress now, so I'm not going to talk about it for very long. What I would say is I've made 4, I think, in viscose, 1 in cotton lawn and this one in a viscose satin. The one in cotton lawn will be a winter wear. It doesn't have the movement in, but I'm fine with that. It wasn't an expensive fabric and I'm pleased I tried it in it. The viscose that I've used definitely has the flow, the drape, but honestly, I love this fabric anyway. I've loved it since I've got it. It's been a bit of a precious fabric that I've been sort of nervous of cutting into with things, but really wanted to make something out of, and I just absolutely love it. The print is fabulous. Quite a few people got it when it was on sale a couple of years ago. I was a bit worried about sort of boob placement with the flowers, but that's worked well. You've got this sort of dipped hem that comes up on the dress, and I was a bit worried about how the, you know, like obviously I can't pattern match it because this is gathered in, but actually I needn't worried about any of that because it's just absolutely lovely. So if I haven't already, I'll drop some video footage of me in wearing that now, and that's me for the week. So that's a short and sweet one from me, isn't it? And you know, I sometimes say this and then I ramble on for ages, but I'm not going to ramble on at all. I'm really happy with how my August plans have gone. The only thing that I've not made, which I was maybe might get done, was the Marlowe cardigan, but that was because we're going away early in September. And when I thought about it, I've got a hoodie, like a zip-up hoodie in the same colour fabric I was going to do for that, and I'd just take the hoodie on holiday. So that's not a must-do. So I'm going to say au revoir, bye for now, happy sewing everybody. Let me know what you're up to as always, and drop some comments down below. I don't think there'll be another vlog out on Sunday or Monday this week. I think I'll be back with you next Friday to catch up with where I'm at with what's left of August sewing plans, and I will have a September sewing plans video probably out next Sunday, I think. That's my plan at the moment. So take care everyone, have a lovely Friday, or a lovely weekend, or whenever you're watching this, just have a lovely sewing time. Bye everyone.